Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Australian Open Day 8 roundup, and that means the conclusion of the fourth round and the start of the quarterfinals tomorrow. So we're going to get into it. We're going to go through the day's play for Day 8, and we will then also do a very quick preview of the quarterfinals tomorrow. I am going to do some specific videos on the quarterfinals as well, so do make sure that you tune in to that as well. Before we get into it, though, remember that like button and do subscribe if you are new. Also, do leave a rating or review if you're listening on a podcast platform. We'll also be going through our player of the day, which I know a lot of you really look forward to. And some of you disagree, some of you agree with my pick. It's always good fun. So today's play on the men's side was intriguing. Really was. Novak Djokovic versus Alex de Minaur. Djokovic cruised past Alex de Minaur. He really did. It was a comprehensive victory from the Serb. And a lot of people thought that he might be able to cause some trouble to Djokovic. That's Alex de Minaur, that is. Because of his speed, because of his shot tolerance, and the fact that Djokovic has been struggling with that hamstring injury. And people were saying, well, perhaps Alex de Minaur can get Djokovic on the stretch and really make it a physical battle, and then Djokovic might end up struggling with the hamstring if he's going side to side laterally and having to stretch a lot. However, Djokovic dominated from ball one, and it was very difficult for Alex de Minaur to get any sort of footholds into Djokovic's serve. It was a clinical performance from the Serbian, and he looks pretty much almost nailed on for his Australian Open title, his 10th title in total, but I'm sure the other players in the draw will have something to say about that. There's a lot of fresh faces in the quarterfinals, and we'll go through that in a second. But yeah, very comprehensive victory for him. Tommy Paul beat Roberto Bautista Agut in 4, so I got that one right as well. Happy to get that one right. He won in 4 sets. Pretty impressive performance, and the American marches on, and the Americans are very lively on the men's side. They really are. There's a lot of them about. Andre Rublev played a absolutely thrilling 5-setter against Holger Rune. The quality, probably not the best, honestly, but in terms of the drama, it was definitely there. Holger Rune had 2 match points, if I'm not mistaken. One, he had serving for the match at 5-4 in the 5th set. He was a break-up in that 5th set, and then, unfortunately for him, he ended up not taking it. It was a pretty decent, forehand cross from Rublev. He went to just defensively slice it back into play on the forehand side and went into the net. Bit of nerves there, I think. A nervy point from someone who is looking to make his first quarterfinal at the Australian Open. And in the end, he ended up messing up on 2 of those match points. Or, well, I don't think messing up is the right word. He ended up not following through on those 2 match points, not converting those 2 match points. And Andre Rublev, at the second time of asking, he actually, no, for him it was his 3rd match point, if I'm not mistaken. He took it in the tiebreak at 11-9, because Andre Rublev had a match point as well earlier in the tiebreak. So it was very dramatic as a topsy-turvy encounter. You can see there, Rublev won the 1st, and then Rune the 2nd, then Rublev the 3rd, then Rune the 4th, then Rublev ends up taking in the 5th. So it really was a seesaw match, and an entertaining one at that. But yeah, the level, not as high as I think some people would have liked, but generally, an exciting match to watch. Ben Shelton beat JJ Wolf. I said he would. I said it might go to 5 sets, and it did. He won coming from 2 sets to love down. JJ Wolf taking 2 tiebreakers, and Shelton took 1 in the 4th, which was crucial because he loses that 4-set tiebreaker, and JJ Wolf wins in 4 sets and goes through. So tiebreakers at that stage of a match are just so crucial. And the fact that Shelton won that one, he then comfortably won the final set 6-2. So the lefty from America, who never played outside of America until this tournament, has now managed to win and progress to his first ever Grand Slam quarterfinal and his first ever main slam at the Australian Open, or first ever Australian Open, which is incredible. Can you imagine if he wins it? That would be amazing, wouldn't it? Pliskova destroyed Zhang, 6-love, 6-4. I mean, a bagel to boot. That was a bit surprising to me. I went for Zhang, but good to see Pliskova back in some good form. Lynette beat Garcia, which Again, that was slightly surprising. Caroline Garcia was a breakup. She was 3-love up in that first set. She gave it away a little bit. Lynette played some really good tennis, though. And then in the second set, Lynette won 6-4. And just some issues with Garcia and maybe not being quite as clinical and consistent as maybe we've seen her in the past 6 to 9 months. But Lynette played some inspired tennis. Vekic beat Kvitova in 3 sets. So someone in the comments, I think it was Weston, well done to you. He was completely outraged by my prediction of Kvitova beating Vekic. I mean, she was halfway there at 1 set all, but in the end, not able to come over the hurdle of the third set. And Vekic, yeah, very good win in the end. Sabalenka beat Bencic in straight sets, an entertaining match, and Sabalenka just looks so good. Bencic, I have to say, played some pretty good tennis at times as well. But Sabalenka just looks like a woman possessed, honestly. And I think it's been very tough for anyone to take this title apart from her. I think she's looking like someone who, yeah, I feel like she's going to be the winner. I said it before when I predicted it, and she may well not end up winning it, but that's just the feeling I get by the way she's playing. In terms of the star of the day then, sorry, before we go on to tomorrow's matches, it's tough because it could be Ben Shelton, but then I guess JJ Wolf also hasn't been at this stage in a Grand Slam before, if I'm not mistaken. For the women's, Lynette, I think Lynette. It's got to be Lynette against a informed Caroline Garcia. I think that's a fantastic win. So Magda Lynette gets my player of the day. In terms of the men's, let's go over tomorrow's 2 quarterfinals. Khachanov Korda. This has 5 sets written all over it. Khachanov has been playing some really good tennis. He's been serving very well, and that's something that has been the case since the start of the US Open 2022. He served really well, and that's how he beat Nick Kyrgios in a quarterfinal where he was the underdog there as well. I think he'll be the underdog here as well. And I do think they played a 5-setter at Wimbledon last year. From memory, I'm pretty sure that Khachanov came out on top. And that wasn't a particularly high-level match, I have to say. It was pretty, not the best. Not the best. But Korda's beating up the European Open in October in straight sets. Cincinnati beat him in straights as well. But yeah, Wimbledon, he lost 10-8 in that final set. So, look, I think it could have 5 sets written all over. I think Khachanov really does save the best of his form and of his tennis for the Grand Slams. And as I said, I think that's the opposite of her catch. And it might sound harsh, but I think her catch plays really well in the other tournaments, the Masters 1000, the 500s, the 250s. But when it comes to Grand Slams, he hasn't really made many quarterfinals or semifinals. And, it's been a bit of a shame. Whereas Khachanov, a lot of people don't expect him to go deep at slams, but he's definitely, US Open in the semifinals. He's now looking to make another semifinal here in back-to-back slams. So don't sleep on him. But for Korda, he is looking to replicate what his dad did quite a few years ago and win the Australian Open. So he'll be inspired to go on and win this. We'll see whether he's able to. Khachanov had a very easy last match, and Korda had a pretty grueling one against Hubert Hurkacz. So, we'll see how both are recovered. Tsitsipas Lehechka is a very, very good one as well. Tsitsipas should have too much for Lehechka, but he looks really good. I genuinely think he looks good. I'm pretty impressed with how he's been going, Lehechka. So, yeah, I've got Tsitsipas, though, to beat Lehechka in 4 sets. But I wouldn't be surprised if Lehechka wins. He's looking pretty good as well. For the women's, we've got Rybakina versus Ostapenko. I think Rybakina probably is going to serve too well for Ostapenko. In the ground stroke rallies, I can see Ostapenko having some success, but I think the serve might tip it just to Rybakina's favour. Pegula Azarenka, there's going to be some great hitting there. All 4 of these players hit big, big, big tennis balls. I'm going to go Pegula to beat Azarenka. That's a really, really tight one, though. Again, I think she'll win. It'll be entertaining. So those are my picks. Let me know your thoughts on the day's play and also tomorrow's quarterfinals. Do keep an eye out for our quarterfinal predictions and also post-match analysis videos as well. And we'll be doing probably more in-depth in the semi-finals, no doubt, as well. Thank you very much, guys. Stay safe and well. We'll see you in the next video.